Very good morning, afternoon, evening to all the wonderful guests across the continent. This is the first ever live from your icon and the series The Success Sutra with Sangeeta. Today's episode, I'm so excited because I have a guest whom I have always looked up to, Mr. Soumitra Ray. He led his band Bhoomi to the United Nations headquarters in New York for an exclusive concert on 12 July 2006. And they were the only Indians to have performed at the Dag Hammarskjöld Auditorium after eminent Lata Mangeshkar ji, Ali Akbar Khan, Pandit Ravi Shankar, and Subha Lakshmi ji. His band was the first Asian band to perform at the Montreal Jazz Festival in 2008. He is also the recipient of Bongo Ratna Shamman in 2008. For people who are not Bengali, who don't understand, for them, let me repeat, it's a very prestigious accolade for the true pearl of Bengal. He has also written a novel called Mr. Adivasi, which was highlighted at the Kolkata Literary Meet in 2020 with an exclusive chat with the legendary writer Ruskin Bond, who praised the story and admitted he would like to act in the movie if it was made on his story. Not only that, as a band Bhoomi, they have completed over 1,804 live concert since 24th July 1999. Hailing from St. Paul's, Darjeeling in 1970 to 71, where he has done class 5 to class 12, he also has earned the Duke Edinburgh Award of all-rounder activity through the school life, which he also represented the Darjeeling district cricket team in 1976 and 77 as an all-rounder. What more I can say to welcome one and only, the sensational musician, Mr. Soumitra Ray. Welcome, Dada, for my show.
Thank you.
We are gonna have a fantastic evening. Today's Adda gonna be exciting with some amazing number from Soumitra Ray about his life journey. And I'm sure there's going to be one of the most ever exciting show during this Corona lockdown, which people are looking forward. Thank you for accepting my invite and coming on my show, Dada. It's such a true pleasure and honor for me to host you.
Don't say it's an honor. Just say we'll enjoy ourselves. Yeah.
I had to tell the story. How did I get to know him? I was in Bangalore in 2020 Puja, right? And I know this Bhoomi band is coming. So there was thousands of people walked into this auditorium in a rush, like such a rush. So I had to see Bhoomi's show. I was like very dressed up with all this red bindi and red sari, the way I'm wearing right now. And from my home to the auditorium was less than 700 meter or 600 meter. I told my husband, let's drive because I'll miss out the first 10 minutes of the show. I don't want to do it. And when I started driving, because of the band, the kind of crowd got gathered in that road, it took us 1.5 hours to reach 600 meter. That is, ladies and gentlemen, Bhoomi band and Mr. Soumitra Ray all about.
I don't believe this. Really.
It was such a big, from Anytime Government Apartment to the Elan Convention Center, 600 meter took 1.5 hours. So I ran, my son and my husband was in the car, and they came 1.5 hours later to show.
Oh my God. So did you miss any song or what?
I did just to run that 500 meter, how much time it took in my hill, that much time I missed.
Okay, 500 meters many years ago, you would have covered in about 1.5 minutes less than what you can do now.
Not many years. You came 1.5 years ago. That's not many
years.
Then
I think it's about the same time.
And that is Soumitra Ray, and I had such respect for him after that, and he made this entire stage, literally got up and dancing. I have not seen all the uncles of this, all our daddies, uncles, grandma, grandpop, everybody stood up and started dancing. That is you are all about. So
Oh my God.
without much delay, let me
Yeah.
jump to the first question.
Yeah.
Before that, we will have live question and answer, live Q&A. We'll hear a lot of, requests from the guest, but
Mm.
I want to start with one question.
Yeah.
In 1982, you started your career as a journalist in Telegraph,
Yeah.
and you have been sports reporter. You also have been an author and the founder of one of the leading musical bands of the country. Everything you do with such passion.
Mm.
How do you drive the passion with such obsession, and how do you keep surprising yourself?
That's a very easy question to answer. Actually, I don't expect anything. So I guess whatever I do is a learning experience and a process for me. So as I progress or digress or whatever you call it, if I make faux pas or if I mess up, I learn from my mess ups, and if I progress, I learn from my progress. So it's not too hard that way, because I don't expect anything. If you expect anything, then you get disappointments, and you kind of become more you concentrate more on trying to be perfect instead of enjoying what you're doing. So if you enjoy what you're doing, you kind of you don't have a problem.
That, no wonder you are enjoying, conversing with me, and I'm sure no wonder everybody enjoys your show, because you do truly from the heart. I think that came out very beautifully.
Yeah,
There's no
but you said you had the lot of respect. Before this, you said you had that was a past tense. Do you have?
no, I have and continue to have. I will be continue to having future
All right.
continuous tense also I've told
Yeah,
now.
actually, respect is a very relative term.
Right.
Respect. I can respect anything and everything. So even if it's the remote for your AC, if you don't respect it, it won't work for you.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Even people
yeah,
think, I think there's no life, but the
yeah,
way you care your belongings,
yeah,
it
yeah,
actually stays with you.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
so
That's
very
right.
well said. That's
That's
so
right.
very well said. Dada, my next question, I
Yeah.
want to ask you before we really get into that musical bits and all of it. How did you develop the fascination towards writing? I know you have written 2 books.
Yeah.
Was there any childhood moment that contributed to your imagination in growing up years?
What happened? Actually, I'm very fond of writing, and I didn't know that I was fond of writing till my mother, when I was in class 5 in 1970. Now that makes me very old. If you translate it into the years and the age, I was in class 5. I was about 10 years old in 1970, and I was put into St. Paul's, Darjeeling, where um, you know it was very. I was very homesick for the first 2 or 3 months, and we had our summer vacation around middle of May. That's what normally happens over there. Summer vacations are just about a week. And before summer vacations, during the long breaks during school, 20 minutes long breaks, I used to go, isolate myself from everybody and go and sit behind our beautiful chapel that we used to have in school. It's still there, most beautiful chapel. And I used to go sit behind the chapel and the look at the shadows falling below Kanchenjunga. Kanchenjunga was spread out, like a huge, massive canvas in front of us, huge thing. And below Kanchenjunga, the shadows of the hills of Sikkim used to fall. Now, looking at the shadows, I remember I used to wonder what life can be like over there, in that, in those valleys, how isolated and peaceful and beautiful it might be. So I had written something, I don't remember what I had written, but I had scribbled some couple of lines regarding that into one of my notebooks. I don't know which exercise book it was, but my mother happened to see it. And she said, um, she asked me during the summer vacation, because my father and mother had come to see me. Um, they asked me, I mean, my mom asked me. She was a teacher. She was an English teacher. She asked me. She used to call me Khokon. My pet name is Khokon. Khokon, you have written this? She saw that little bit of writing, and I said, yeah, I have. So she said, you come with me, and she took me to Das Studio. Das Studio is a very famous landmark in Darjeeling, and she bought me a small diary. I remember. I think it was green in color, and she told me every day you must write at least 1 or 2 lines or 5 lines, whatever, anything, you must keep writing. So since then, 1970, obviously there have been many days and months when I haven't written, but that, you know, in my mind, I realized that mom had told me to write. So I started maintaining a diary from about 1980 or so, and till today, even today, this morning also, I've written my diary. So, it's a non-stop thing. It's just going on and on. I've been writing my diary, and I thought of the story, uh, Mr. Adivasi, and I wrote it.
What a beautiful way, of childhood memory, looking
Yeah.
up in the Kanchenjunga and then coming out with this beautiful story. This is so touching, Soumitra. It is like I can literally travel down all the way to my childhood and imagining. I used to go on the rooftop and watch plane flying because it was so. You got the best touch of the nature.
Oh, yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
What a
I was
beautiful.
very lucky, very fortunate. I
It
think
is.
my entire life, I've been extremely fortunate and blessed to have studied in a place like that, to have not really, studied. Study was just a passing word for us. We hardly studied. It was more outdoor. It was
Right.
more outdoor activities, and it was like an expensive holiday camp for us. My entire
Right.
school life was like a holiday camp. So I don't know how I got through exams and everything, but
You are very smart. Whatever you touch hand, it turns into gold. So even if you don't study, I think your sharpness and intelligence, that
I
presence
don't
of
know. I'm
mind,
not
I think
sure.
that's for
I'm not
everything.
sure. Uh-huh.
Dada, on my next question, wanted to know what inspired you to launch Bhoomi? Would love to know your journey. How did this entire band, Bhoomi happen? Because when you had so many careers, so many things you are doing,
Mm.
what was the story? Can you take us down to the
It was basically, we used to sing Western songs. Having grown up in St. Paul's, uh, I was exposed to mainly Western music, and we never thought of Bangla Gan. I didn't even know what Bangla Gan was. But coming from a rural background of my village, Harishchandrapur, where there is Kirtan and Monasha Mongol and a lot of music. My sisters used to be from Robindra Bharati, from Shantiniketan. So there was a lot of Robindra Sangeet which used to float around the house, but I was never really drawn into it till I found a couple of songs from Nirmanendu Babu, which inspired me, Amar Pal Babu. And I loved those Bhatialis. ওই ভাটিয়ালিগুলো শুনে আমার কি জানি, I used to start floating. It used to take me into a different zone. So at parties and all where, mainly English is the language spoken, বাংলা বলা হতো কিন্তু হয়তো ইংরেজিটাই আমরা বেশি বলতাম. We used to speak more in English. Once in a while, I used to sit down and sing one or two bhatialis, which my friends used to say, "Hey man, this sounds awesome. You should sing more of these songs." And then I came across Shurajit, who used to have a separate Western band. He used to come over to our band for our rehearsals. He used to come and spend some time with us. So one day we started singing a bhatiali which he was singing, and I started harmonizing. And once we started harmonizing, it started sounding very nice. Like uh, Simon and Garfunkel in Bangla, মানে ওরকমই শোনাচ্ছিল with all the harmony and everything. So it just kind of flowed and it blended into Bhoomi.
What a brilliant story. Wow. This is something, seriously, every part of your story has such amazing, memory woven into it. And the way
Like I told,
everything.
I mean, like I
Yeah,
told
what?
you, Sangeeta, when we formed this thing, a friend of ours, he had come down from Delhi. He has passed away a couple of years ago,
Okay.
but he was a very close friend of mine, childhood friend of mine. So he told me, Patrick, he said, Shomu, I think you should record these kind of songs that you all are doing now in Bangla. It's sounding very nice. So I said,
Right.
who's going to pay for the studio? And you're mad or what? Bangla
Right.
গান আমরা record করবো. Which is, I'm not
Huh.
joking. It's serious. I'm telling you. He said,
Right.
I'll pay for your recording. I said, not only recording এর সাথে lunch ও তো খেতে হবে. He said, okay, I'll stand you biryani also. But you get into the studio. So, all right, we got into the studio and we had biryani and we recorded 3 songs, which when our friends heard those 3 songs on that time there were cassettes. I'm talking about 97, the year my Agnish
Right.
was born. Uh, when
Okay.
these
Uh-huh.
songs started going, my friends used to listen. They said, wow, man, this is sounding so awesome. Then, slowly people took us more seriously. And today I'm sitting with
Oh,
you.
wow. I'm sure it will reach to many more hearts, many more continents, many more places, because Bhumi is something very special. That
Well,
reminds me one small episode when I met you. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell the story. So I think they started playing at I think 9 o'clock in one of the biggest puja, cultural association of Bangalore, Bengali association. So we were waiting to call Bhumi for last 2-3 years. We didn't have the budget initially, and then we became one of the biggest puja. So we could afford Bhumi, so we called Bhumi. And then I remembered till 11 o'clock, I think we had a hard stop at 10:30 or 11 o'clock. And there were flood of people wanted his autograph, a photo with him, flying from all the way from Calcutta to Bangalore, doing one show in the morning, one show in the afternoon, one show in the evening. So Dada did not return a single person. Everybody came to him with a photograph. At 12 o'clock, he had still the smile with the drooly eyes. Still he managed and he didn't turn down anybody. That's what the respect I think he deserves. He was the person, my respect went up. And in that crowd now, I was trying to get some attention. So I said, how do I get attention of Soumitra Ray? So I had written a book called Celebrate Your Wings. So when he entered the car, all the volunteers kind of, covering him, right? When he entered the car, I just ran. Dada, I wanted to give this book to you not because he was the band which Bhumi stands for, because as a human, he's such a kind and honest and dedicated person. The love he poured to every audience, the way he made us smile, I think I needed to do that. And that respect went up to multiple notches, Dada, because you were
oh my
very
God.
special. Because I have seen so many celebrities, after the show, they will not stay back to make everybody happy, to give an autograph to everybody and still have the smile till the last end.
See, I'll tell you something, Sangeeta.
Huh.
It is you who have made us. It is our audience which makes a performer. Either the audience loves him or drags him off the stage and says you're rubbish. Now, because of you all, because of our fans, I hate calling the word, I don't like the word fan. But because of the people who like us, appreciate us, support us, it is, our success is measured by, it's like if I put a thermometer into our, supporters' veins, it might show a, nice, good high. So, it is you. It's because of you that we are. It's not because of us that you are. So we are obligated to give you our, an autograph is nothing.
But
Our
দাদা
time,
কজন ভাবে এটা বলো মানে you look at
our
it,
time is more important.
right?
See, we've made, I don't know how many dozens of times I've gone abroad, but people were actually waiting for us, right? And it is our duty because those people have made the effort to spread our songs, to listen to our songs. So it is our duty to reciprocate, to give them back what they were expecting from us. You must, it is a compulsory thing for any artist to give time to their
to their audience.
listeners. Yeah, to them.
I think that made you very special. You know, I'm having so many comments pouring in on my YouTube. I
Please,
can't
please,
even.
please let me hear of you. I
I
can't
will. I
wait.
will. There are a lot of people. There's a lot of requests coming. Dada, music chai, gan chai. When are you
Oh, okay.
starting? So why don't we, on the request of my audience on the YouTube, why don't you sing a song, whatever?
Okay, I will first dedicate a song to one of the little children whose birthday it is today.
Okay.
One child, his name is Aparup, and yesterday I visited his family with a cake, and I walked down to their place, Basdroni, and it was about 45-50 minutes walk. So I love walking to stay fit, and that child was so happy. His birthday is actually today, but knowing that I won't be able to go today, I made it a point to go yesterday.
Oh, how sweet.
And yeah, we had a lovely time. So I want to dedicate a song because his dark name is Dushtu.
Oh, what a beautiful name.
So for Dushtu, I'm going to sing Dushtu Hawa, one of the songs I had written for Agnish. Agnish was very small, 2 years old, when he caught a bhomra, a bumblebee, a bee, and his hand, that bee bit him on his hand, and his hand was swollen. So Marisa, my wife, and Agnish, who was 2 years old, couldn't go for Bhoomi's first show on 24th July 99. I was asking my parents, I said, Marisa, Rune asheni? Rune is his dark name.
Right.
না তোমার ছেলে একটা কাণ্ড করে বসে আছে, একটা বি ধরে নিয়েছে। আচ্ছা, oh, that's nice. That's nice. He's done something constructive in life. An adventurous child is a bright child. I believe that. So, okay, Dushtu, Aparup, and Mom. Mom is also, I'm sure Mom is around. Debraj and Momita Pramanike's May. She also sings my songs, and Aparup also sings my songs. And they'll mug up all my songs. ওদের জন্য আমি একটুখানি গাইছি।
Lovely.
এক দুষ্টু হাওয়া ভেসে আসে সঙ্গ সাথী নিয়ে পাশে, আন মনে মিষ্টি নজর দিয়ে বলে থাকবো না আজ কোনো ঘরে, আন মনে লুকোচুরি খেলবো আমরা, দুষ্টুমিতে ধরবো ভোমরা, ডুববে পাহাড় ভাসবে নদী আকাশে, দাঁড়িয়ে রেতাম আহা হা হা হা, দাঁড়িয়ে রেতাম আহা হা হা, মাছ না পেয়ে মাঝি বাঁধে নৌকা নদীর চরে সরষে বাগানে, দুষ্টু হাওয়ার পালে পড়ে চাল ছাড়া আজ মাঝি হাসে প্রাণপণে, চল হাওয়া আজ যাবো সাথে মাখবো ধুলো মাঝ মাঠে, গাইবো গান আর করবো চুরি বাতাসে, দাঁড়িয়ে রেতাম আহা হা হা, দাঁড়িয়ে রেতাম আহা হা হা, দাঁড়িয়ে রেতাম। একটু গাইলাম, পুরোটাই গাইলাম।
So Dushtu, many happy returns of the day wherever you are. Look at this beautiful song has been dedicated to you. Thank you so much. That's so beautiful. I feel like dancing right now. But I'm sure Dushtu, you're enjoying. What a beautiful sweet name. You're enjoying your birthday wherever you are. And thanks for dedicating that song to him. Whoever he is, I would love to meet him someday.
Oh, he's a wonderful kid.
Yeah, I'm sure. The other one comment came on the YouTube link that, why is your hair so long? I have never seen you chopping.
Oh, that's a okay, lovely question. I love this question. I've answered it many times. That is, when we formed, it was very difficult to get shows, na?
Right.
To tell people what we are doing. Look, didn't know mathay make na khai. What is Bhoomi? And frankly, I had no idea that there was anything called Bangla band till we formed it. till Bhoomi was born, I didn't know. When I was told that there's Cactus, there's Parush there's Chandrabindu, there's, Obilasha, and, host of other bands, I said, oh, really? Wow, this thing has happened before. I didn't know that, you could sing Bangla Gan with guitars and drums and bass guitars and everything, keyboards. Because I never followed all that. Now, it was very difficult to get shows initially for Bhoomi. Now, one day I went to the saloon and I cut my hair and I returned, and there was a phone call which before I went to the saloon, there was a phone call saying যে আপনারা নাকি গান করেন. So I said, হ্যাঁ তা বলতে পারেন. That time there were no mobiles, it was a landline call. I said, হ্যাঁ, বলছে আপনাদের very minimal amount, এই টাকা দেবো, আপনারা গান করতে পারবেন? আমি বললাম yes, very small amount they were giving. So I said, well, no amount is small actually. For us that time it was a lot of amount, a lot of money. So I said yes, and I went for my haircut. And when I came back, this person called up and he said, দাদা ওটা হবে না, আমাদের বাজেট নেই. So I said, oh man, I think I went for my haircut and that must have brought bad luck. So I'm not going to cut my hair from now. And till now I haven't gone to a saloon since that day, since 99. I can't hear you.
What a story. I said, since then you haven't ever chopped your hair.
No, Marissa trims it once in a while.
But you never go to saloon.
Never.
But anyway, that suits you so well.
Oh, well.
On that note, there's a lot of birthday wishes pouring in for Aprup. Thank you so much. I'm sure he will be really, really happy for that.
Yeah.
Tell us, your audience, about your first ever show, what you did, and what was your overall feeling about it? How did it feel to complete the show?
Yeah, how we got the show is a story in itself. Actually, I knew a lady who was in charge of events, major events, but they used to do Hindi events.
Okay.
Hindi plays, Hindi, everything was Hindi about them. But she was quite a renowned lady in so-called society. Now, I'm not naming anybody, but I said, we didn't have organizers and all, I didn't know anyone. Like now, if I call up somebody, that person will say, ha, Soumitra da, bolun. But that time I couldn't say, anything. So I went to this lady with Surajit with that cassette of 3 songs, those first 3 songs which we had recorded. And she said that that Kokon, I deal in Hindi, events, but I can't do anything in Bangla. So I said, okay, but at least listen to the songs. You might like the songs. So she said, okay, let me listen. So luckily we had taken our small tape recorder with earphones, and she listened to it, and immediately she said, I'm giving you 12 days time. It was 12th of July that we had gone to her office at Park Street. And she said, I'm giving you 12 days time. I'm giving you Gyan Manch. I'm giving you lights. I'm giving you sound. I'll be inviting the entire press, including the electronic media. But you will have to get the audience. Can you do that? So Surajit and I looked at each other and we said, hey, Pagla, I think we hit, we hit a jackpot. So, we, those next 12 days we practiced like crazy. And we had a song list of about 22, 24 songs. And we had a fantastic show. The curtains opened and there was Aparna Sen sitting on the front, on the front row. Though she happens to be my maternal aunt, my mama is Mukul Sharma, Konkona's father. Though she was there, I was nervous because, Bangla Gan Gaibo, and she's there, and the audience, they started clapping before we started singing because they were all friends and family and, everybody. So, and then we started singing and there was no stopping us. We went on, and even the people in the guards and the people selling tea, and the people at the doors, people from outside, they started coming in, and they said, wow, this is sounding really nice. And after every song, we got massive applause. And we gave our first interview to an electronic media, and that to a national thing. It was, I think, Aaj Tak, in the green room. And I couldn't believe that we are sitting in the green room with, national media covering
Covering
us.
you.
Yeah,
Right.
I thought, wow, how is this happening?
Like,
So
okay, pinch করে দেখি হচ্ছে কিনা।
yeah, it was kind of like that. And we got raving reviews,
Wow. And how old were
fantastic
you?
reviews.
How old
Sorry?
were you that time?
That's 22 years, 99, eh? So I was
Okay.
take 22 from 61. That's how old I was.
Wow. Forever young. Forever young. What was
Yeah.
the first song you ever sung there? What was the first live song you picked up?
As a band, we sang Abbasuddin's Gaon Chariya De, Luraiya
Please,
De,
Gauna,
Dal
please sing
Chalaiya
that song.
Choluk Re Na. I don't know all the lyrics of that song, so
Okay.
I won't do justice to it. Actually,
Sure.
Surajit used to sing, I used to harmonize this song.
Got it. Got it.
But
What's your favorite host?
my first song was, which I sang in that show, was Nazam Nazam.
Oh, please.
I
I
had
love
just,
that song. I
I,
love
I
that
had
song so
just,
much.
I had just written that song, I mean, and I sang
Oh,
it
that
over
was
there.
also written as
Yeah,
well as composed and sung by you.
yeah. Nazam Nazam. I mean, it's actually Pocha Kaka.
Huh.
It's about this boatman who doesn't. I knew him personally, who living on Ganga, Panchanandupu, who wouldn't go back home without catching fish.
Mhm.
That's what his nephew told us. Bhaipo,
Okay.
Bhatija,
Okay.
ওখানে ভাতিজা বলে।
Uh-huh.
So I wrote this song about him, and it's a lot of people. In fact, Dushtu Aparup calls me Pocha Kaka, and
Oh,
Mom also calls me Pocha Kaka, and I introduce myself also at many places as Pocha Kaka.
uh-huh.
So
Wow.
I'm singing a little bit.
Lovely, lovely. Please go ahead. My favorite song too.
Nazam 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 না ঘর যামু নাই আমি মাছ না ধইরা নাজম 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 না ঘর যামু নাই আমি মাছ না ধইরা তোরা যে যা কইবি কইয়া হাজা কইয়া হাজা কইয়া হাজা কইয়া হাজা কইয়া হাজা তোরা যে যা কইবি কইয়া হাজা কইয়া হাজা কইয়া হাজা না ঘর যামু নাই আমি মাছ না ধইরা নাজম 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 কাকারেডু শুনবার পাইলে ঘরে আইস ওই আমার পরাণ গেল সম্মান গেল ওই আমার পরাণ গেল সম্মান গেল ওই আমার বিবি কান্দে তো তুফান আইলো ওই আমার বিবি কান্দে তো তুফান আইলো ওই আমার বিবি কান্দে তো তুফান আইলো ওই আমার পরাণ গেল সম্মান গেল তবু আমি নাইয়া যাই নাইয়া যাই নাইয়া যাই তবু আমি নাইয়া যাই নাইয়া যাই নাইয়া যাই না না ঘর যামু নাই আমি মাছ না ধইরা নাজম 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 নাজম
Wow, wow. It was so beautiful. I felt like I'm actually standing in front of big auditorium listening to that.
let me
Your
give you
voice.
two small examples of how successful this song was. Okay.
Sure, sure. Please go ahead.
One was at the United Nations headquarters.
Right.
After we were supposed to perform for 1 hour for the United Nations music appreciation club, which included all the countries. There were 431 seats, all packed, and there were people sitting on the steps and all that in the corridors or whatever you call aisles. And after the show, we were supposed to perform for 1 hour, but we had to do 1 hour 35 minutes. Because the people just wanted us to go on and on, and they didn't know what language we were singing, except for 5 Bangladeshis who were present. 5 Bangladeshis were listening, and they were going mad because I was singing in Bangal. No, most of our songs are in Bangal.
Right, right.
So this this gentleman, very tall guy, he comes up to me after the show and takes an autograph, and he says, "Can I ask you a question?"
Mhm.
So I said, "Yes." I was looking at him like this because he was so tall. So he said, "You guys did a fantastic job, but what was the shouting all about?" I said, "Shouting?" I said, "Oh, we were looking for Pocha Kaka. Hey, Pocha, Pocha Re, Sumbar Paile Ghore Aiso," and all we did. No, all 5 of us shouting like that.
Right, right.
So he said, "Oh, who's Pocha Kaka?" So I said, "Oh, Pocha Kaka, আমারও একটু accent হয়ে গেল তখন। And Pocha Kaka is a fisherman, in the Ganges in West Bengal, who doesn't go back home without catching his fish. But there was a storm coming, and we were asking him to come back. So I picturized this scene, and I wrote this song, and it's just about calling the fisherman back home." He said, "Oh, that's a lovely story, but you know what? We thought you were asking all of us to get out."
Oh, wow. That's I think it is such an honor, right, for United Nations headquarters there to go
It
and
was one
see them.
huge experience.
And it was
One
like,
huge experience.
and then, the way you also kind of coined his Pocha Kaka. I was like, I don't know, I can't
Kaka.
even do that.
Pocha Kaka. Who's Pocha Kaka?
Pocha Kaka. Okay, here a couple of comments have come. I think Ranushri says Dushtu is watching it, and thank you so much. Okay, thank you so
wonderful.
much. Yeah, only shortlisted question we're picking up. Quite a few questions come in. Subhashri, I think, has said that. How does music of different places attract you? That means, do you find music everywhere?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Even when I'm walking, I listen to different genres of music. It can be Jagjit Singh. It can be, Mori Kante. It can be Chona Zubate. It can be, Yusundo. Anything, as long as it gives me good positive vibes. I just love music, and I walk more than 1 hour every day, 1 hour 15 minutes, 1 hour 20 minutes, and I have my earphones on and I listen to different kinds of music. I particularly like uh, Latin music, so I don't understand the language what they're singing, but Brazilian music, and music from Peru, music from Africa, music from Irish music, they all attract me. English music is always there, but what attracts me more are these kind of music which makes me want to know more and more and more and more.
I know there's a different touch of the tune, the rhythm, the feel of it, the beats of it, right?
Absolutely,
All different.
absolutely.
Absolutely. On
Yeah,
that,
and
I will thank you so much for putting so many questions. I'll come back to all of your questions, ladies and gentlemen, to all the YouTube people who are right now logged in and watching in. I wanted to ask one question. In this
yeah,
wonderful life journey of yours, you have played so many roles. Have you ever failed? And if you fail, what is that secret you have learned from that failure?
the biggest failure I've had, I think, would be not to have given 100% to my elder son, who I couldn't, I couldn't do justice to his childhood in its entirety, in his entirety, because he was away from me for a long time. And that upsos or regret, I will regret all my life. You know, I couldn't give him 100%. And he's a very loving and caring child. He's grown up, he's married and everything. But, I feel that I haven't done justice to him.
Because
I've
I,
tried to make up in many ways, but uh, he plays drums with me. He's Bhoomi's drummer, by the way.
oh, acha, he was there in Bangalore as well
Yeah,
when you did the show.
last year he was there. He's been with us from 2015 March.
Lovely.
Yeah,
What's his
and
name?
Arjesh.
Arjesh and Agnish. Beautiful name. I know.
Arjesh means Arja Shrestha
Ah, lovely.
and Agni Shrestha.
Who has chosen the name?
My Bodhi, Bhabhi.
Okay. One question, I know that you had sung the title song of Mr. and Mrs. I
Oh
under
yeah,
Zakir Hussein's music direction.
yeah.
And this actually one movie, I think that song was very powerful. Can you please share that experience with us?
It's a once in a lifetime experience, Uh, and he has inquired about me many times because my nephew, my eldest nephew, Raja, he is Ustad Ali Akbar, uh, Amjad Ali, sorry, Ustad Amjad Ali's. Ayan and Aman and Raja, the three of them have learned Sarod from Amjad ji, sitting on his bed, in his bedroom. Raja also says that, Zakir Bhai asks about you. Now, how it happened is just, it just happened. Like a lot of things happened in my life. I was sitting one afternoon watching a football match on TV, and Aparna Sen, my aunt, rang me up saying that she had heard me singing in English many times at her house and in concerts and all that. He says, Kokon, can you do me a favor? I want you to sing a song. I said, for you, anything, anywhere, anytime. He says, okay, you'll have to come to Bombay. I said, Bombay? Yeah. What are you talking about? He said, no, I'm in Bombay and here Zakir is with me. Please talk to him. I said, what are you talking about, Zakir? Zakir Hussain. She said, yeah, talk to him. And she gave the phone to Zakir Hussain. And that soft voice, polite voice, saying, how are you? I'm very happy to hear about you. Your aunt has been talking well about you. So can you come tomorrow? I want you to sing a song. So almost fell off my chair. Yeah, you know, it's too much for me. And I went down to Bombay next day. They arranged for my tickets and all that. And I went to Bombay and I went to the studio, Mahalakshmi. And the tracks had been laid, and several people had tried singing the song before me, but my aunt knew that uh, Kokon can sing this song. She wasn't happy with them because there was a beautiful feel to the song. If you don't feel a song, you cannot sing it. I believe that. I'm saying this generally that if you
Very
don't
true.
feel a song, you cannot sing, whichever song it is. It can be an English song, it can be Hindi
It has
song.
to connect from
Yeah,
within.
yeah, yeah.
You have to
You
have
have to
that.
be the song.
Yeah, you have to be to do the justice.
Yeah.
Very, very well said.
So when I went there and I saw Zakir Hussain, he just walked in very casually. He's saying, "Okay, you have come." I don't know how he knew it's me. So I touched his feet. He's saying, "Come on." I mean, ektu Bangla jani.
Ah,
Talk like that. It's so charming. He makes you feel at home
right.
in 10 seconds. I was absolutely comfortable. And I picked up the song, looking at the sequence and the song. I heard it about 100 times. And Zakir Bhai said, okay, you want to try it? Or you want to have a cup of chai with me, my special chai? So I said, yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, such a great man telling me things like this.
Right.
So he took me down in his car, just a short distance. And there was a shop where the chai wala came, हाँ Zakir Bhai, मुझे हाँ दो बना के लाओ. So I had that tea. I don't know what magic there was in that tea, and that song was playing in the car also. He said, let
Okay.
the song sink into you. let the song sink into you. I sang the song in one take. In one take. And before I sang, when I stood in front of the mic, he placed the microphone for me, knowing how my voice travels. He had studied me by then.
Wow.
He knew, what posture I will stand in, how I will sing, how my voice will come out. So accordingly, he placed the mic. Can you imagine Zakir Hussain himself adjusting the mic and putting it for me? Such a humble person.
I think the
And the best thing about that was my lesson of lessons was, in Calcutta, we have the habit, not the habit or the ritual. What do you call it? Actually, tradition that when you enter the studio, you take your shoes off
exactly.
on the studio floor.
It's like a temple, right?
Yeah. So we do that in Bengal, in Calcutta. And I did that over there. But Zakir Bhai had walked in already with his Nagrais. But when he saw me opening my shoes, he came out, he opened his Nagrais, and he walked back inside.
Wow.
And he announced, the recordist and a lot of people were there, Tawfiq Qureshi and all this, Salim Merchant and all were there. That यही है कलकत्ता का खूबियाँ, बंगाल की खूबियाँ और कलकत्ता की खूबियाँ. That you respect the floor.
Yeah,
You
I
step
think
on it. So that a great man like him saying that.
absolutely.
আমার তো, I was thinking I should take a photograph of his shoes and my shoes together.
And I think greatness, the more great, the more you achieve,
Yeah.
the more humble you become.
And I sang it. I sang the song in one take, and he did this. That was all I needed. But when I came and sat, he said, you're very tense now. Relax. He made me sit next to his. There was no other place. The studio had
Right.
very small, very small. So I sat in front of his feet, and he put his two arms on my shoulders and he massaged me.
Oh, wow.
I'm thinking, my God, Zakir Hussain's hand on my shoulders, massaging my shoulders. Me,
মনে হচ্ছিল it was like
unbelievable.
dream দেখছি।
And so soft and tender, his hands, and he's so sweet, he is. And I said, Zakir bhai, by then, I was talking to him a lot more easily, comfortably. So I said, I don't know if I sang okay, He said, that's the best part of a musician. You're never satisfied. If you are satisfied, you are not right. Till now, I'm still looking for my perfect dha. Can you imagine Zakir Hussain saying this? I'm still looking for my perfect dha. Zakir Hussain saying such a thing.
Amazing.
Amazing. Yeah. So the
Amazing.
lessons I've learned here.
I know, such powerful story. I'm a goosebump এসে যাচ্ছে. I literally
Really?
telling the story, I'm getting a goosebump here. এখানে ইন্দ্রাণী জিজ্ঞেস করছে, how did you learn Dhak?
I didn't learn it. It was there. In fact, I haven't learned anything. Seriously, I wish I had learned something in life.
Even the music, everything came out just naturally.
Everything just totally natural.
Where is that gifted from childhood, or you absorbed?
See, we still have about 20 dhaks playing during Durga Puja in my house,
right,
and in Harishchandrapur. And only the members of the house, our family members, now our Jethus and all have passed away. And 3 of my elder brothers have passed away. One is alive. All of us, we take the dhak on our shoulders and we play it. And there was a story where my Bado Jetu had made me a small dhak so that I could carry when I was 5 years, 6 years old. Because he used to see me, with tender steps, crossing our lawn and going to where the dhakis used to stay during Durga Puja. In our compound, there was a area for the dhakis. So all the dhakis used to stay there, and I used to go quietly and go and sleep wherever they are sleeping. I used to sit with them, eat moody with them. And this is what I've heard. I don't remember all this, but I believe I used to do all this. And that dhaki, Jyotish dhaki, had told my Bado Jetu, who was an MP at that time, that ei babu bhalo bajna bajabe, ei babu tal gyan khub bhalo hobe, talking about me. So then my Jetu made me a small dhak. And I guess it's always there. So I know a lot of rhythms which uh, uh, are actually traditional Dhakir rhythm, Dhakir bowl. Calcutta and all, a lot of people, they just have no idea about what actual Dhak means. They put it on the floor. I've seen it all over the world. In fact, they put it on the floor and play it. Wearing shoes and slippers and everything. They are playing the Dhak on the floor. You are actually insulting the instrument. Do you play tabla with your foot? You don't, no?
Yeah, as you said at the beginning, you have to have the respect, embrace
Yes,
it
if you
within
don't
that,
respect your instrument or anything, that won't give you back respect. Very simple.
Exactly. That's actually a very powerful thing which came out. Dada, there's a lot of requests coming in from
Bolo.
so many people that we need one more music, one more. Nazam se shuru hua. এখনো বলে যাচ্ছে one more.
Okay.
Dada, one more song for tonight for my audience.
Okay. I'll sing Bhoomi's first recorded song.
Lovely. Please, the stage is all yours.
Okay, stage.
Virtual stage. Virtual stage
Well,
is all
yeah,
yours.
yeah. Okay.
In
No,
Corona
this
time,
song,
that's the best.
this song is called Monea Naire. A lot of people who follow Bhoomi or who like Bhoomi, they consider it to be one of our masterpieces. And I wrote it about Pocha Kaka, that Nazam character, who had told me that I don't remember all the places I used to go to, but I had asked him on his boat one late night. I had asked him. I said, "Pocha Kaka, you are rowing across Ganga, so easily. So when you were young, how far would you go?" And that time he was above 80 years old. When I asked him this question, he says, "Oh, when I was young, I used to go very far. I don't remember all the places." So Mone and Naire. So that's why I wrote that song for him, remembering. Baitam zoban laiya re, gaitam chore bohiya, ভাইসাই তো কত সুর, সুখ দুঃখ লইয়া, মনে আর নাহি রে, মনে নাহি নাইয়া, নাইয়া যাই নাও রে, হে ভাটিয়ারি গাহিয়া, বাইতাম যৌবন লইয়া রে, গাইতাম স্বরে বহিয়া, ভাইসাই তো কত সুর, সুখ দুঃখ লইয়া, মনে আর নাহি রে, মনে নাহি নাইয়া, নাইয়া যাই নাও রে, হে ভাটিয়ারি গাহিয়া, কাইটা গেল বহুকাল, বাহুবল লইয়া, দার আর মানে না রে, পুরান হাত সহিয়া, কাইটা গেল বহুকাল, বাহুবল লইয়া, দার আর মানে না রে, পুরান হাত সহিয়া, মনে আর নাহি রে, মনে নাই নাইয়া, নাইয়া যাই নাও রে, হে ভাটিয়ারি গাহিয়া, মনে আর নাহি রে, মনে নাই নাইয়া, নাইয়া যাই নাও রে, হে ভাটিয়ারি গাহিয়া, ভাটিয়ারি গাহিয়া, ভাটিয়ালি গাহিয়া.
Dada, এখানে স্টেজ হলে আমি স্ট্যান্ডিং ওভেশন দিতাম, আমি সেটাই
Oh my
দেখতাম।
God.
It was just mind blowing. It was so
The two
beautiful.
instances of the
স্যার
two
দাদা,
instances.
আমরা না প্রত্যেক মাঝে মধ্যে উইকেন্ডে এরকম মিউজিক্যাল ইভিনিং করব। We should must, you
Oh
know,
my God.
people will actually come out from their current trauma, what they face, they're going through. They'll all be so happy. You
I
know,
had done something called Pochar Shunge Lockdown. I
okay,
started it last year, sometime March, end
okay.
of March when lockdown started. And I
Uh-huh.
did 118 episodes,
Wow.
118 days, out of which 114 days were continuous.
Wow.
you know,
Wow.
yeah, every
And
day at 8:30, I used to be here with my mobile, and
uh-huh.
I used to go live. And people, in fact, a lot of people have been asking me to do that again. I said, I don't know so many songs.
We can we should start seriously. It
I've
was
run
so
out of
beautiful.
songs.
You can again repeat those songs. That's okay. But it's beautiful. In fact, one more question came from Rajiv Kumar. Can you please sing that title song of Mr. and Mrs. Iyer, at least a few lines?
If I'd known, if I'd known, if I'd known how savage love is, if I'd known, if I'd known, wish I'd known how savage love is. I would have locked the door to love's house, beaten a drum, shouted, keep away. But now I am alone, helpless, helpless, helpless. Don't look away. Don't look away. Don't look away. Look away. Something like this. Yeah.
Oh my God, Dada, I think I'm supposed to do the show for 1 hour. It's already 1.5 hours over. And there are
Really?
so many.
Oh my God. Oh.
See, you won't believe. I'm so sorry, but like there are so many requests came in. We are not in FB Live, being in YouTube Live. Also, the kind of engagement, hats off. There is few names I have to read out. They're continuously the sending message. Momita Poronik, Monia
Pramanik.
Naire দাদা
Pramanik.
প্রামাণিক আমি চোখে দেখতে পাচ্ছি না কারণ আমার আজকে কন্ট্যাক্ট লেন্সও নেই, গ্লাসটাও নেই। মনে নাইরে দাদা এটা অসাধারণ। ইন্দ্রাণী বোস বলেছে, who taught you to play so many instruments, you are inspiration. Amarjit Mukherjee, our lovely Poche Kaka, we love you so much. Rajeshri Rajeshri Datta বলেছে মনে আর নাই রে, please once again. Devoraj বলেছে, we are all singing with you দাদা ভাই, sorry, Debraj P, we are all singing with you দাদা ভাই, please keep continue to coming back. There are Purnima Basu বলেছে, my favorite মনে আর নাই রে। তারপরে আবার ইন্দ্রাণী বোস, your band তোমার কি your band বারান্দায় রোদ্দুর is immortal. Can you please sing for us? Can you please sing it for us? বলে অনেক কমেন্ট আসছে। If I start reading the comment, it will be little too late. But quickly going back to the Q&A session, and I maybe come back for the one last song from Dada because we're already shooting the time. I have known your passion for the adventurous sports and your fascination for climbing. Have you ever been a sporty child from the beginning? Did you had that adventurous quotient in you from the childhood, or did you kind of develop later?
I told you, my first lines were written about the shadows below Kanchenjunga, right?
Right.
So my mind has always been wandering. It is never stuck in one place. I'm not a person who can be stuck or enclosed. I'm always, my mind is, without fear.
It's traveling all over.
Yes, it's traveling all over. And I've always been very outdoor guy. I was horrible in my studies. I've got a special degree in my studies. It's a not everybody has it, but do you know what degree it is?
What degree?
It's called TT Pass. You know what is TT Pass?
TT was key.
Tene tune pass. I swear, I don't know how I passed school, how I
God.
passed college.
Oh my God. TT Pavel, TT was a key.
I'm telling you, that's a very special degree I have. How many people in the world have it? Tell me.
Absolutely. That totally, being, you are so multifaceted. I don't know how you know, I think you haven't touched the book at all, but you managed to always come out from it, right?
I swear, I don't know how I passed school, I told you, we never studied, but still I passed. See, our parents sent us to be good men, good people. And St. Paul's is a school like that,
Right.
a public school like that. They make good people.
Exactly. I think that's more
You
essence.
don't have to be an academic. You don't have to
Right.
be a brilliant student. You have to become a good man first, and that is what this lockdown and this virus has also taught us. Let's take the
Exactly.
positive side.
Exactly.
This has taught us to be with our families. This has taught us to care for our children more, spend more time with our children, realize that how much time we haven't given them all these years, you
Absolutely.
know, and we've learned all this in the past 1 year.
There are so many
Yeah.
beautiful artists in the bond during lockdown. There are
Yes,
so
people have
many,
resurfaced with their paintings and, with their
yeah,
hobbies and everything. And so many gardens have come up and plants have been planted.
so many birds started chirping near the balcony.
Yes, yes,
You know,
absolutely. Let's take
the
a,
nature looks colorful. It
yes,
doesn't look
there's
the smoky
less
morning.
pollution. There's
Yeah, yeah,
less
yeah.
pollution.
I
We have
think
to take the,
looking at the positive side, and today's world is all about rat races, all competition, competitiveness that's killing the originality. I think school like that sort of
uh,
brings you as a true, genuine person who you are. And rest, bucket doesn't matter, right?
the race,
What degree?
race, race
Uh,
begins and ends with yourself.
very true. That's a
Race
very
begins
valid
and
point.
ends with you.
Very,
You
very
set
valid
your
point.
pace in life. You measure your pace. If you think you're going slow, go faster. If you think
Mhm.
you're going too fast, slow down. But you have to realize it. If you don't realize it, it won't help.
I think
So
first,
I don't set myself a target. I don't set myself a target because if I set myself a target, then it's difficult. Can I say that, yeah, today I will write 2 songs? It's not possible. It has to
yeah,
come to you. Like my second novel, which I was writing after Mr. Adivasi, you know, it's a story on a child, and that child has vanished from my mind for the last 5 6 months. Somehow that child is not in me.
right.
So when that child comes back into me, my pen will flow again.
Absolutely.
So
I
that's
think
how it happens.
I think that's such an
Yeah.
important message you give it to the world. It has to sink in. Let it come to
Yeah.
you naturally instead of
Yeah.
really running behind it. You
Don't
try
run after.
chasing something, it will
You run
further
after
run away.
success. You run after success. Success will be further away from you.
I think enjoy what you're doing, be in the moment, love
Yeah.
love that moment around. I think rest everything falls in place.
I'm not here to give gyan, but that's my philosophy.
Sorry, we got a little Gany mode, but that's
No,
okay.
I'll tell you another secret of mine.
Sure, please do.
That is, I keep money in my pocket, not in my head.
That's the
You
best
keep
secret.
money in your pocket, you'll be relaxed. It might fall out, you might spend it, you might forget about it. It might grow, it might be less. You might not even know how much is there. But if you keep it in your head, you lose sleep.
Always
You lose
like a
sleep, your
policy.
pressure goes up and everything, you've had it. So Keep money in your pocket and relax.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, you understand why he's so successful? That is the first formula. Please don't keep the money on head.
In fact, I'm telling you, another thing I like to share with you, because we're talking so well. Uh, we get paid for our shows, right?
Right.
Most of our shows we get paid. The guy who controls our money is Abhijit, our bass guitarist, because he's done accounts. I said, hey man, you've done accounts in life. You've done
Yeah.
BCom and all that, BCom honors. You look after the money. He's a job,
Right.
Baba, and he takes the responsibility.
Uh-huh.
Until I come home, or until the show is over and I get into the car with him on our way back, I don't allow him to pay me, because he pays the money to everybody. The sound, everything else.
So many, right.
So many heads. But my money he doesn't give me, because I've told him. I said, until my job is done, I don't want my money. I have to be satisfied with my job. Then you give me my money. I have to complete my job. Similarly, when I come home, I put that whatever money he gives me in a packet or in cash or whatever, I keep it in front of Ramkanu. Ramkanu is my Griho Devata.
Acha.
And I don't count the money. I say, it's yours. Because of you that I have got it. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been alive. I wouldn't have got it, earned it. The next day, the whole night it is with Ramkanu. Next day, I see what it is. I don't look at it. So I have no expectations.
Your wisdom is so much, I'm so enjoying this conversation. Apart from the musical evening, you gave us some amazing secret of real true story of success.
Why not? Tell me, Sangeeta, I'm walking one evening and it starts raining on Southern Avenue, and I take shelter under a bus shade. The bus thing, standing under it. I see an old lady with just a small madur. What do you call madur?
Party jeta bole madur.
So that
Mat.
that also, mat, that also is torn, and half a madur, you can say, with a couple of plastic packets, dirty plastic packets, a dog, and a handful of packet of muri, puffed rice. She's having that, and she's feeding the dog the same muri from her hand. So I looked at that and I was thinking that this old lady doesn't have much, but she's sharing whatever she has with an animal. Okay. A stray dog, but she's feeding it. She's eating from it and feeding it. Then she looked at me. She noticed that I'm looking at her, and she said, Khabi. So, I put both my hands forward and I took a little bit of her muri and I had. She's offering me.
Wow.
Now, that is a lesson for me. It doesn't come to everybody. I'm blessed that I've got such lessons. That an old lady who's sharing her little bit of muri with a dog is sharing it with me also. And people are running after this model car, that model car, and one car.
And that one, I don't understand. It's just, I think, it is, the humanity we forget just to run behind more, and at the end of the day, the life tunnel.
So these are lessons which have, in my lifetime, they've meant a lot for me. Yeah.
Beautiful. So, even at this high capacity, she's also Khabi when she's giving it. Right?
Yeah.
Look at that nurturing and that.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely. Dada, I almost end off my questions before I jump onto the rapid fire. What has been your success sutra for budding musician or entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs who are trying to make it big? This is one question asked to all my guests who comes to my show, because your wisdom, your value, your inputs can change many lives tomorrow. So what are the 3-4 things you think has worked for you and you would like to advise?
One thing is, be brutally honest with yourself. If I'm singing out of pitch, I have to correct myself. I cannot take it for granted that I'm Soumitra Ray. I can sing out of tune. I cannot. I must sing in tune. You cannot take anything for granted. You must be honest. There's no point in cheating yourself. No? If you cheat yourself, you can cheat the world, but then ultimately you're cheating yourself. How will you cheat yourself? You won't be able to sleep. I'm not saying I'm a saint. I'm not saying I'm a, person who's never done anything wrong in life. I have been naughty. I have done a lot of things which probably I got a lot of scolding for in school and from my parents. But overall, when success started coming in the face of Bhoomi, I've tried and I've, been very honest with whatever I've done. I don't think I've cheated myself after that. So if you cheat yourself, you're cheating the whole world. Not only the whole world, you're cheating yourself. And if you're not honest with yourself, who are you going to be honest with? So, and don't pretend to be somebody else. I mean, for a budding musician, I would say, I used to sing Western songs before, right? But I could never be Neil Diamond. I could never be Jim Morrison. I could never play drums like Mike Shreve. I could never be Pink Floyd, Roger Waters, no one. But when I write my song and sing it, I can be me. I don't have to be anyone else. Which is why I respect my son Arjesh so much. He writes his songs and he sings them. I correct him sometimes when he's off pitch, when he's singing. I find that, his pitching can be better. So I tell him, Babu, here your pitching is wrong. And he listens. Not that I am a teacher, not that I have learned how to sing. I've never learned how to sing. I still don't know what singing is all about. It is a passion. It is just a feeling which comes out from me. And when I'm on stage, I become a different person. It's not the same Soumitra Ray that you will meet. When I'm on stage, it's my place of worship. It's my place of meditation. It's my place where it's my universe. When I shut my eyes and the lights of all the lights filter through my closed eyes, that's my universe. That's my heaven. So when I'm singing, when my eyes are shut, I know where I am. I'm in a different zone. There might be, I've sung in front of lakhs of people. But, ultimately you're singing for yourself. You cannot cheat.
I think that 3 point came very powerful from the conversation. Being honest, embracing your originality, and giving your best. These are the three success mantra that came out. And thank you so much for sharing that. Beautiful. Been enjoying the shows very thoroughly. I have a few rapid fire and then I'll go back to the YouTube questions that have coined from Karan Johar, but let me ask you a quick few questions. Who has been your mentor? Some leader. Yeah.
You mean musically?
Musically, life-wise, or any mentor, 2 or 3 mentor you want to kind of name. Who has inspired you always?
Oh, there are too many actually.
Any names you have in the off the shelf, right on the go?
My Mezda was he was a doctor. He was an eye surgeon, and he was a brilliant person. He passed away too early. He was just 43 when he passed away. But I used to look up to him, as the hero of our family. He was so good in sports. He was so good in his studies and everything. And he was such a gentleman. Being a gentleman is more important than having all the degrees in the world.
This is the missing link today's world.
Yeah, I think I think my Mezda is my biggest inspiration.
Lovely. Yeah. Mezda is there and he's
Mezda
listening.
Passed away. Yeah.
Sorry, maybe from the heavenly abode, he's listening and blessing you always.
I think so.
He
used to love me.
Yeah.
He loved me.
Okay. Next one. Is there any moment that changed your life's perspective? Any defining moment?
I just told you about it.
You told
In fact, there were two. One was that I'm still looking for my perfect dha, which Zakir Hussain had said. He said, मैं भी कुछ नहीं जानता हूँ. I still don't know what playing tabla is about. And the other one was that old lady, who shared her moody with me.
Wow.
So, these two are big moments in my life.
Very, very powerful, very in-depth and deep story.
Another one, I'll tell you a very, very big one. Very big one.
Okay.
Mamata Banerjee.
Okay.
Our chief minister.
Right.
I've known her from 1980 because she was just an ordinary, worker of Congress, where my mother was the president of the All India Women's Congress of Bengal. Now, Mamta Di used to come. We used to call her Didi that time. So much later, 2011, when she was campaigning, she used to take me with her on her campaigns. During one of the campaigns, she was in the car, and at one point of time, there was some talk about something where she said, "E boro lokra je ki kore ami buji na." So I kept quiet. I didn't know what she was. She was referring to somebody who was doing something naughty or not right. You say, "Era ki korbe kokon জীবনে বেশি পয়সা রেখে লাভ নেই জানো তো, অল্প রাখবে ভালো থাকবে, আর সোনার খিচুড়ি খাবে তুমি, বেশি পয়সা নিয়ে কি করবে, সোনার খিচুড়ি খাবে." So I started laughing. I said, সোনার খিচুড়ি? বলছে, হ্যাঁ, আর কি হবে, বেশি পয়সা দিয়ে কি হবে, সোনার খিচুড়ি খাবে? I said, না, আমার দরকার নেই, আমি নর্মাল খিচুড়ি খেতে চাই. So that was another.
I know what matters is being happy at the end of the day,
with normal things.
Yeah, and having those people around, who
and she's a very simple person. She is.
Lovely. Just loving all the story. Don't want to end it up at all. I'll come back. Sorry, all of you. I know I'll pick your questions after this rapid fire. Apologies that YouTubers have not really, my friends have not yet gone to you, but I'll come back after 3-4 questions. Dada, this is a little hatke. Who's your favorite most actor and actress?
Actor?
Yes.
Jack Nicholson.
Okay. Any particular movie of him?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Okay. Actress?
Actress, I don't know. I'm definitely not Aparna Sen. I don't think she's a good actress. And even I don't think she also thinks she's a very good actress. But her daughter,
hope Aparna is listening somehow.
Her daughter, she will agree with me. Her daughter is an outstanding actress.
Konkona is amazing.
Yeah, I remember when Konkona was just about 3.5, 4 years old, at their Alipur residence at Sonali Apartments. Me and a cousin of mine, Nandu, we used to tell her, "Hey, Konkona." Actually, the doorbell rang, and Chotoma, that's Aparna, she told Santosh Da, who was the cook, that, "Uff, abar ke esche, Santosh Da ekটু দেখবে." She told Santosh Da. So immediately, Konkona spoke just like her. Uff, ke esche, Santosh Da ekটু দেখবে. So after that, I said, "Acha, eta ekটু রেগে বলতো Konkona." "Uff, কে এসছে, সন্তোষ দা একটু দেখবে?"
বাবা,
হ্যাঁ, আচ্ছা, খুব খুশি হয়ে বলতো, "উফ, কে এসছে, সন্তোষ দা একটু দেখবে." Immediately it was like a screen test for her.
Wow.
And she was so impulsive, Konkona, that I'll never forget that moment. It was fantastic. I think she's the best actress. Yeah, she's a fantastic.
And I think she was 3 years that time itself.
Yeah, that time she was just 3 years old.
I know. She's one of the favorite, I think, one of the wonderful actors the industry has ever produced.
Yeah. Okay. Any other question?
Yeah, last 2 questions before we kind of go quickly to the YouTube. best show or the most memorable show what you have ever conducted in your lifetime?
That's so difficult to say. It's impossible to say like this.
But one which sort of rings the bell for whatever reason, maybe for an embarrassment
The
moment.
most prestigious one was obviously the United Nations one,
Of course.
and the Montreal Jazz Festival, where we were supposed to start at sharp 7:30. Okay, and car 4, that was our stage, car 4, CARRE, FOURE or FOURE, whatever it was, at Montreal. See what happens there. 500 concerts happen in 10 days. So there are 50 concerts happening every day. Street corners and auditoriums and everything. And we being just we being artists, we were allowed to enter anything and everything.
Right.
So on our day of performance, we were at car 4, and another stage was happening about 500 or 200 meters away. Now that finished at 7:29. Just one sec, I have to take this.
Sure, no problem.
Hello. একটু ওপরে চলে এসে সেকেন্ড ফ্লোরে দিয়ে দাও না। হ্যাঁ, আমি একটা লাইভে আছি, তো ফেসবুক লাইভে আছি। আচ্ছা,
I think we'll cross the time. That's why all the knock. I'll finish it up quickly with this after
okay.
this.
No, over there, and we had planned that we will start with Pochakaka.
Okay.
So we did our sound check and all. There were maybe 20 people roaming around, and I was wondering, there's no people here. What will we play? Where's the audience? I was seriously having doubts. Then that show ended at 10 seconds to 7:30.
Okay.
Say our time was 7:30. I think it was 7 or 7:30, whatever it was. We were given prime time. And the biggest ground to play in, space. The manager of the stage said, 10, 9, 8, 7. And he said, go. And we all went, Ore Pochare! Sunbar paile ghore aicho. That shout we did for about 40 seconds, 50 seconds. God knows from where thousands of people arrived. And they started jumping. They started jumping up and down with our nazam, 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 nazam. It was throbbing. And next day we got it was exactly a 1-hour show.
Wow.
Next day we got headlines on Montreal Jazz Festival, that Indian band.
Wow.
One of the
such a prestigious moment for you as well as the country. Amazing. The last question, before I end the show, and then Dada, one quick thing. I know there are Poulomi Basu. Thank you so much, Soumitra da, for this lovely evening. Soumitra da, aaj apnake abar amar pranam janachhi, and there is so much more to learn from you. There is Amarjit Mukherjee. Oh gosh, da is also from there. Surprisingly, he's here too. I didn't understand that. Okay, somebody said Punima TT Pass make you so special. Okay, then there's a lot of question. Abhijit Ghosh, oh yes, he was the cricketer as well. Oh, I didn't know that you were a cricketer as well. Achha, you have so many qualities.
I played for the district also. Yeah.
Wow, Dada, I didn't know this part of his story as all. Okay, we should do more. I think Akjon bolche it is a great idea. Why don't you do event every weekend like this? So every weekend Bengali Adda people want. So I think next time.
Oh my God.
On YouTube Live, at least fortnight from now, I'll request on all the viewers, we should do one Adda at least after fortnight in Bengali with just the music, no conversation. I think that will be great. And the last two, almost end of the show, one last question, what is that one embarrassing moment in your life which you have never ever shared to any of the show, any of the episode, or to any of you? If you could let us know.
How can I tell you? If I haven't shared with anyone before, how can I share it with you?
Okay. Suppose
Okay, I'll tell you. All of you will start laughing.
okay, I want to laugh.
I'm very honest, huh?
Done.
I'm
Done.
very honest.
I totally respect the
And
honesty.
please, Amar Theke Jara Junior, please don't mind what I'm going to say, but it's a fact. I
Okay.
came and I told my wife, and she said, "You," she said, "Only you can do this." What happened? It was winter, and I was performing at the Rajya Sangeet Mela, and Deshupriya Park, and I was right in front singing away, and I realized that I'm suddenly feeling extra cold. I said, "What's happening? Why am I feeling so cold? I'm supposed to be heated up." I realized, I don't know how to say it. I realized my zip was down. Can you imagine? Oh God. And the way I put up my zip, you can't imagine. Slowly, I danced to the back of the stage behind the drummer, behind Arjesh. And Arjesh is looking at me like this, where's Baba going? I said, "Kid, shut up."
Managed it to go to backstage. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I think that's the confidence.
Yeah, no, I just went behind the drummer, behind Arkesh. I put my zip up and I came back because I was feeling cold suddenly.
Ladies and gentlemen, nothing could have been more funny and so hilarious to end the show with. Thank you so much. On the last, I don't know, Dada, if you're still on a mood to sing a 4-line, because there's too many requests came for a 4-line for any song or a song before we end the show. This is the last question.
Okay.
And because we already crossed 9 o'clock, so
my God, what rubbish I've been talking.
That's okay. You are a genuine person and genuine talks, and you just told about it. It's such a funny
My
moment.
God, this zipper story is going to come back to me. Everybody is going to say.
Next time, if I edit it, I'll cut it.
And when I, now every time I go out, Manisha says, "Is your zip okay?" Can you imagine? Chi.
But good that you've done one mistake in the future, in the beginning, something might not have happened. Everybody has some embarrassing moments.
Okay. I'll just do a bit of. It's not my song. It's Kobi Arun Chakraborty's song.
Lovely.
So we recorded it, but everybody thinks it's a Bhoomi song. All right. নদীর ধারে শিমুলে ফুল নানা পাখির বাসা রে নানা পাখির বাসা সকালে ফুটিবে ফুল সকালে ফুটিবে ফুল মনে ছিল আশা রে এমন ছিল আশা তু লাল পাহাড়ি দেশে যা লাল পাহাড়ি দেশে যা রাঙা মাটির দেশে যা তোকে মানাইছে নারী একেবারে মানাইছে নারী লাল পাহাড়ি দেশে যাবি হাড়ি আর মাদল পাবি লাল পাহাড়ি দেশে যাবি হাড়ি আর মাদল পাবি মেয়ে বড়দের আদর পাবি রে একেবারে মানাইছে নারী লাল পাহাড়ি দেশে যা রাঙা মাটির দেশে যা তোকে মানাইছে নারী একেবারে মানাইছে নারী না একেবারে মানাইছে নারী ও নদীর ধারে শিমুলে ফুল ও নদীর ধারে শিমুলে ফুল নানা পাখির বাসা রে নানা পাখির বাসা সকালে ফুটিবে ফুল মনে ছিল আশা রে এমন ছিল আশা তুই ভালোবেসে গেলি চলে কেমন বাপের বেটা রে তুই কেমন বাপের বেটা লাল পাহাড়ি দেশে যা রাঙা মাটির দেশে যা কে মানাইছে নারী একেবারে মানাইছে নারী না 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 একেবারে মানাইছে নারী না 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 একেবারে মানাইছে নারী ও একেবারে মানাইছে নারী
বিউটিফুল দাদা, আমার মনে হচ্ছিল আমি অ্যাকচুয়ালি দুর্গাপুজোর প্যান্ডেলে বসে আছি এক্স্যাক্টলি 2020-র সেই শো এর মতো। With this, we come to the end of the show. I know I want to read a few names. সুস্মিতা বোস, বাংলা বাংলা আড্ডা চাই। তারপরে আরো অনেকে বলছে বারান্দায় রোদ্দুর গানটা প্লিজ। আবার বলছে আড্ডা চাই, অনেকদিন পর তোমাকে দেখছি। অনেকে lot of comments have come, but because I have stolen 1.5 hour of valuable precious.
Can I see it on my Facebook?
You can see it on the Facebook, but it has to take you to the YouTube live. So it doesn't show
I think my son has done something like that.
So. Okay, so basically I promise, and Dada, I hope you can't say no to me now. 2 weeks down or 1 week down the line, we should have only Bangla Adda on a FB live. Done. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on all of your requests, Dada has agreed. Maybe one Sunday or next to next Sunday, we'll have a Bangla Adda with Dada, with some more music. Ebar puro Banglai hobe, and some more beautiful, story and the storyline. Thank you so much, Dada. It was such a pleasure hosting you. I don't know, in a fluke, close to 2 hours, I think. And thank you so much for joining the show. And many more. Keep giving such amazing music to the world and keep
1 hour 32 minutes hoyeche 1 hour 32 minutes
7টা ভাবছিলাম কেন জানি
না 7:30 শুরু করেছি
1.5 hour হয়ে গেছে so beautiful. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and
thank
we'll come
you
back with more and more. Thank you so much for making us feel so special by your tone, tune, and the originality of your voice. That's something always
after all I'm TT pass na.
TT pass korte hobe. So ladies and gentlemen, if you really want your children to be that brilliant, make sure that TT formula. Don't put pressure to your children anymore.
Absolutely don't.
Right. Thank you, Dada.
Okay, all the best.
We'll be back.